Hello, hello. My name is Lee, and I'm so glad that you're joining me today. Gosh, if you take a look at the news just about any time, but especially recently, gosh, we've got on a national scene, we've got wars going on, and then locally, we've got all kinds of police shootings. It just, my goodness, just seems like it's just stuff, and it just reminds me of the Marvin Gaye song going all the way back to 1971, in which he says, "What's going on?" And he starts off by saying, "Mother, mother, mother, there's just far too many of you crying. Brothers, 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 just far too many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today." And then the next verse says, "Father, Father, there's no need to escalate. War is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today." So that's what I want to talk to you about is the message is to wake us up from all of this belief and separation and polarization and clashing to the truth of what's really happening here. And there's only one presence and one power, and it's non-duality that's really going on. And we want to bring what I would call the presence of heaven on earth instead of hell on earth. So what's going on? It's time for us to bring some heaven right here and right now. Now, I'm just going to make an assumption that you've been familiar with religion and you've been steeped in spirituality for a while, and you have what I would just said had an awakening. However, has it been in such a way that you could really feel it, like down in the essence of your body, that kind of awakening, not just an intellectual knowledge? And then have some of us had an awakening, but it seems like it fluctuates between, I'm awake, to, oh my goodness, it's an illusion, and we get hooked. How can we get stabilized in all of this? Some of us just want an ongoing moment by moment realization of an expanded awareness that God is all there is. So through it all, no matter what goes on, can we get in touch with that? Because the thing of it is, we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. So to start off this, I want to take a look at this. There's one thing we really have. One thing we really have. And that is we have this present moment. So now in this present moment, we're going to coin a phrase that some of you may be familiar with. It's called Namaste. What is Namaste? Technically, what it's saying is, to recognize that there's this life force, this divinity, this self or this God that is in me, but also is in everyone else. That is a potent thing to do. And we're going to use that as a catalyst to see if we can turn some of this energy around. So Namaste acknowledges that there's oneness going on. There's nothing going on but God, and we're going to honor God's presence not only in everything, but in everybody. So Namaste is like a greeting, like I behold the Christ in you. And as we do this, I just want you to know that the name Namaste doesn't have any magic in it. No, it doesn't have any power in it at all. However, when we say this with the willingness to see beyond the personalities, beyond the imperfections, but to see the Christ or the divinity in someone, now that takes power, that takes potency. And I know some people can be challenging. Lord knows. Some people you just can't see them. It's like the famous ministers of minister Dr. Robert Schuller, I understand, was involved in a car accident. Somebody smashed into the back of his car. And Robert Schuller got out of his car and told the guy, I behold the Christ in you, but I sure can't stand the rest of you. I don't know if that's true or not, but that seems like something that somebody would say because people, oh my goodness, they can get on our nerves sometimes. But however, we are going to create in such a way that we're going to look past the quirks of people, look past their unique manifestations, which some people have some unique personalities. And we're going to incorporate a loving presence that we love will give us the power to see beyond that person. That this is important because we're going to create a new atmosphere here. Now, that means people are not always going to agree with us, or we're not always going to agree with them, but we're going to now do something that's a real stretch, and that is behold the Christ in them. So like I was working out at this gym several years ago, and this was just before the Gulf War, and I was saying to one of the guys who we were just working out, I would say for a year or so at the same time, and I realized that he was a minister in seminary. So I was just before the Gulf War, I said, wouldn't it be terrible to go to war? I mean, this is really bad. And he says, well, what's wrong with it? I said, well, there's a commandment, thou shalt not kill. He says, no. We can go ahead and kill them. But you see, they're not Christians. So we can kill every man, woman, and child. They're not Christians. And I just thought, oh my goodness, how can he do this? And I started to degrade him. And I realized it's people like that I got to find a way to behold the Christ in them, because that's what is actually a call for. Instead of getting angry and upset, we're going to perpetuate the illusions that are going on, and it's time that we change this. In this moment, let us affirm together there is only one presence and one power in the universe. This power flows through me and all beings all the time. Our spiritual practice, I want us to do is just find a way to bring some loving here today, and we're just going to behold the Christ in someone, and we bring our consciousness to love to this. We then can do something moment by moment. We can support the world in coming to a new realization simply by taking the moment and beholding the Christ in someone. Now I'm calling these woo moments, and that is windows of opportunity, especially when something is going on that we don't particularly like or we get irritated. It is time to breathe it in and see that God is everywhere. And as we do, we're holding this frequency and the vibration of consciousness that is seeking to manifest itself through us. And so we're beholding the Christ in everything. And let's just see what happens with that vibration. Now, there's a story that I like to tell because I used to be the manager of this restaurant in Washington, D.C. And one of the guys that was on the cash register stole money. Well, you don't get 3 strikes for stealing money from the cash register. So 1 strike and you're out. So I had to let him go. He was 17 years old. And of course, he was in high school, and he said he needed the job and all of that. But sorry, you stole, so you're fired. So even though he insisted, I let him go. But something worked with me overnight. And the next day, I had kind of a change of heart. I said, he might get this guy a chance. I waited for about a week or so. I gave him a call and said, Come on in, give you a try. So he just thanked me and all of that. Sure enough, he did not steal again. So fast forward about 15 or so years later, I'm in the Department of Motor Vehicles, getting registration and all that. Long line. It was going to take about an hour or so. Good grief, just to get through it. When I heard this guy say, Jim, I looked up and it was Jesse. He was the guy that I had fired and hired back. And he says, thank you. I just never got an opportunity to let you know that back then I was young and stupid and nobody really believed in me. Sometimes my parents didn't, the school didn't, but you believed in me and that really helped me. And now I am in charge of 15 guys who are security guards. And so now I have people that are working under me. So he was a security guard now at the DMV. And I was just so good to see that he had made it well and that it was doing well. And then he said, what's your number? I said, it'll be another hour. So he tore up the ticket, said, nope, not so. And took me up to the counter and he says, this is the guy I've been talking to you about. And so I was immediately taken care of. And I had no idea that anything like that would happen. It was just giving him an opportunity to express his true divine nature. I was able to behold the Christ in him. And that took an awful lot for me back then. But it seemed to work out. And what was really good, not only did it help save me that hour and a half, but it was good to know that a good deed was actually received well. We don't always get that. So I just want you to know that anytime we can make a shift like this, Marianne Williams used to call this a miracle when we make a shift in consciousness. So if we can get unhooked from something and say namaste and behold the Christ, that's a shift in consciousness. And also I want you to know this is not a linear process. This isn't a step for step. This is a quantum process. And so what we're doing now is getting into our heart. So we're experiencing now love in the particular moment. Now, when we say namaste, first thing I want us to do is to think about it for ourselves. We're beholding the Christ in us. Then once we're able to do that, then we're able to give it to other people. So, namaste, beholding the Christ. Love yourself. And then extend it to other people, situations. Huge shift in energy, huge shift in consciousness. Miracles will happen every time. So as we move through this world woo moment, I just want you to know that who we are is a wonderful collection of people. And we are now ready to practice namaste, but I'm going to take it up another ante. There is a Zulu word, and it's called Sayubona. That means we see you. So as a community now, we're taking on a consciousness when we say, instead of I see you and I behold the Christ in you, we see you, means that all of our tribe, our ancestors, and the angels that surround us, we see you. And this has the potency because this we now, I'm inviting us to do this in such a way for this is a potency in it. And with it, we're now going to say this, what we're really saying. Who do I need to be? Or how do I have to be so that you can be free? So when we say we see you, what we're saying is we're willing to be the loving presence in this moment that you can feel so that you can be all that God has designed you to be. Sayubona. We see you. Now, when you're greeting somebody, you're not saying namaste necessarily or sayubona. What we're going to do is holding in our minds and hearts. And we're just going to say, hello, hi, but we're saying, I see the Christ in you. And we see you so much that we're willing to be the loving presence that you can be transformed. Now, see, there's potency here, and in that particular moment, or what I call it a window of opportunity, a woo moment, you're feeling love yourself. You're sharing love, transforming it. Then the energy of the collective is behind you so that there's more happening. So now we've increased the odds that we are bringing some love here today. So when you're just saying hi to somebody, just think about we see you, and it's this whole ministry here. We're with you. When you say we, you're calling upon all of us. And when we say we're calling upon you. So we can be in this together energetically. It's time that we get together and we have some transformation. What's going on? It's woo time. This is a wonderful opportunity, to make love a profound experience. Let love have its way. Now, we don't know what it would look like, but we know that we'll be shown along the way. So inviting us to do this together. It is woo time. We are bringing some love here today. God bless you. Sayubona. And also, Namaste. I behold the Christ in myself, and I behold the Christ in you. Go forth. Let's bring some love in here today.